Yes, 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 yes. Yokoso, yokoso, yokoso. Aragara gozaimasu. Welcome, 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 everybody. It's episode 94. Yes, 94 of the Stadia Monday Night Chat with me, your host, of course, Clive Illenden, for it is me. Yes, back once again. I hope you are all good. I hope you are all well. And I appreciate all of you who are here live, right here, right now, right here, right now. And all the hundreds of people who catch up later. You know, that's cool too. I like that. Thank you for your continued support of the show. It is really, really appreciated. So whether you are watching live right now, as I see people are, or on catch up, don't forget to hit the likes as I like it. YouTube likes it, and it helps people like you find great Stadia content like this. And if you are new here, of course, you're very welcome. And when you get a mo, why don't you whack that subscribe button, toggle that notification bell, and then you'll know when I go live with Stadia content like this, ladies and gentlemen. Well, there you go. That's the formalities. Yes, that's the YouTube formalities out of the way. So let's get on with things. Yeah. Let me know, of course, what you've been playing this week. Have you delved into Rainbow Siege Extraction? What do you think? Are you enjoying it? And all of that. What are the games you've been playing? All of that. This is the after all, this is the Stadia Monday Night Chat. Yeah, chat. And the chat bit is actually in the title. So, hey, get involved in the chat. Join in as Mustar S has already done here. Love your content. Keep it up. Much appreciated, Mustar S. Much appreciated. Of course, we'll have all the news. And I know what you're thinking. Yeah, when I say all the news. Don't worry. I have news. Yeah. New games, new hardware, lots of other interesting Stadia-related stuff. Plus, of course, ladies and gentlemen, let us not forget, we have the prospect of Stadia Pro announcements this week. You know, unless, of course, they just decide to drop them on the 1st of Feb and don't tell us. Let's talk about that. You know, put your pro title predictions in the chat. Let me know what your thoughts are. At the end of the day, as I say, Stadia may have been quiet, but there's still plenty of news to be informed, educated, and entertained about, ladies and gentlemen. And this is what this show is all about. But before all of that, let's see who has put their blankets on the sun lounges, their towels on their sun lounges, i.e., who are the first people in the chat? Let's have a look and say hello to chat before we get delving into the news. Mastar, yes, nice comments like that. Thank you. Really appreciate that. Crow Resin, how you doing, sir? Metal Wolf, yes. I was waiting for you, Metal Wolf. Thank you for arriving on time. Inled, oh dear, quickly scurries around to see if I'm using Inled graphics. Don't think I am this week. Sorry about that, Inled. Roger, how are you? Nigel, lovely to see you. Jerry, as ever there, showing the clown face. Much appreciated. Jeremy, good evening, sir. Jamie, lovely to see you there. Jeremy's been taking a bit of a game break lately, but will likely get back into JRPGs. And there are a good selection, of course, on Stadia. And I'm no doubt many more coming. Metal Wolf, Extraction is not his type of game. Yeah, you know, I sort of played some of it. Soul Home Studio, what's up? Yes. For the fans, not the fanatics. That's it. Sub shared. Hitman, Cyberpunk, and Darkside's been on his roster there. Foso and Elsa there. Chris Tales. Haven't started Chris Tales yet. It is alive, yeah. You know, they're allowed a break. They're allowed a break, Scooterama, but it is alive. It has been confirmed. Animal Royale, says Chris Dancer there. Red Dead Online. Animal and PUBG. Oh, yes. And I've been playing PUBG, of course. Life, of course, Roger. Yes. Life is Strange. That's two games. Part of the remastered collection. So it'll be interesting to see what other Pro titles. Let's have your thoughts. I was going through the Stadia store to see if it sparked, any thoughts. Read the Stadia Pro, and there are some other options, but we'll come to that later. We'll have a good discussion about that. FIFA. Oh, my son is never off FIFA. My son absolutely loves FIFA on Stadia. Yeah. He's, always in his ultimate squad. We're spending money on FUT coins, FUT coins. That's what I said, FUT. FUT coins, to buy packs and stuff. He's getting into that now, all via Stadia. So thank you, Stadia, for bringing FIFA 22, or should I be thanking you because it's costing me money? Thank you for bringing FIFA 22 to Stadia, and not only that, making it a super port. Yeah, it has been a slow cadence month, but actually, there is a pattern. If you really want to look for it, very similar to last year. Played a lot of SWJFO and so much more. Can't name them all. Yes. Oh, yeah. Search for walkthrough. Always the solution. There was, of course, I think we're, a long way from there yet, but they were going to sort of collate all the YouTube walkthroughs, and then you could be able to ask Google Assistant via your controller, how do I, beat the robot in Chris Tales or whatever? And then a video would come up. That's one of the things that, is possible with Stadia. We're not seeing it yet, but, it'd be interesting if they ever do bring that on board. And Ray, sunshine and shades there, Ray, the gaming cyborg. Lovely to see you. Right. Let's get on with the news, shall we, ladies and gentlemen? Actually, before that, let's just talk about how, it has been a bit quiet. Last year, the first big game of January was Hitman 3, day and date, landed on Stadia. This year, the first big game of, 2022, arguably, Rainbow Six Extraction, landed day and date on Stadia. Then in February, we had Little Nightmares 2 as a pro title. So imagine, so we're getting Life is Strange, which I'll come to, is remastered collection, is launching day and date for across all platforms on the 1st of February. And like Little Nightmares 2 last year, it is coming to Pro. So there is a similar pattern. If people want to see it, if people want to have a look and see that, the first sort of big game of the year, day and date, Stadia. A sort of double A game, in this case a remastered collection, but last year's Little Nightmares 2 coming to multiple platforms, but coming to Stadia Pro. So similar pattern, if you want to look at it like that. Anyway, as I said, from a Stadia perspective, well, the news has been a little bit but there is plenty of news, that we can be getting on, ladies and gentlemen. Plenty of news we can be getting on with. So don't worry about that. And I have a funny feeling, with the Stadia Pro announcements, coming up, and we can talk about that. As I said, we can talk about those. It's basically a flick of a switch. I've talked before how a lot of the Stadia community is really sort of slightly bipolar when it comes to, Stadia news, and it just takes a big announcement and everybody's like, whoa, what would it amazing, or no announcement or something mild. Nobody's, oh my God, it's the end. There's no in between. I think people need to find that in between status, could be just by playing the games that are on there, because sure enough, this week probably we're going to get a big news blog, Stadia Pro announcements. Everybody would be doing again, Anyway, first let's have a look at some quick Stadia game updates. So there's been a number of updates as we come into the year and all of that. So first out the trap. First on my list anyway. Orcs Must Die. So this was a few days ago, 20th of January. They announced 1.1.10 update for Orcs Must Die 3 is now available on Steam and other platforms coming soon. And they did clarify that actually it was due to Stadia later that day. I think it was later that day. So it should, I haven't checked, but the update to Orcs Must Die 3 should be on Stadia now. If we have a quick look at the patch notes here, you've got 2 new endless maps, North Wing and Cliffside, new evil Vorwick skin, new scramble buffs and debuffs, and then loads of sort of little fixes here. I can't see anything specific in Stadia. I was looking at another update for a game and looking at the Steam update, and it actually listed the little enhancement for Stadia, not this particular game. But there we go. Orcs Must Die 3 has, as I say, 2 new endless maps featuring on Orcs Must Die 3. I should go back to the game. I had such fun playing that with my son. I played it duos, and yet I can't remember how we were playing it duos. Multiplayer. Anyway, good game. Good game. Yeah. So Orcs Must Die 3 has an update with 2 new endless maps. Very interesting stuff. Right. Talking of new content, forever delivering new content. A game which is super popular on Stadia. Dead by Daylight is adding more content here. Let me just make this large so you can see. There we go. Oh, you can't quite see there. Look, I want you to see. Am I hiding it? No, I'm not hiding it. Look, you see it's over there. Over there. You see the Stadia logo over there. Anyway, the archives, Tome 10, saw Dead by Daylight, available January the 26th. So 2 days' time, more content for Dead by Daylight. Super popular on Stadia. Stadia listed in the listing, which is always good to see on game announcements and game updates and things like that. So Dead by Daylight, new content coming to Stadia and other platforms, of course. And I know a lot of people play, it's one of Sunny Cloud Gaming's favorite games. I think he even has a YouTube dedicated to it, YouTube channel separated to it. So there you go. Let's just get rid of that a second. We've done with that. Okay. Other updates, and I can't remember I did this last week because they're coming thick and fast, these particular updates that I'm going to be referring to now. Dark Side Detectives. Let's go big on this one. Touch control is coming to Dark Side Detectives. So original Nohin asked, any chance of having direct touch in the future? So this was following a tweet out by Dark Side Detectives here. Any Stadia Pro players enjoying a fumble in the dark? And original Penguin Adam added, I agree and can't stress how perfect your game is for direct touch. And look at this. Dark Side Detectives responded, hi folks, we hope to have it available when we launch the next case. So touch control is now coming to another game. So it's really good to see developers going back to their games and adding it. So we had what? Humankind. Was it Humankind? 100 Days. I think they're adding it. We're talking about it. But anyway, it's good to see I get those two muddled up, the Humankind and 100 Days. Both begin with H. But here we go. Touch control for Dark Side Detective. So I think that's going to be pretty good. Of course, Lukey 6. I forgot to mention Lukey 6. His whole life, Lukey 6 is dedicated to Dead by Daylight. Check out Lukey 6. That's his channel. Dead by Daylight content. So he's going to be super chuffed. No doubt playing that brand new Saw content. Yeah, shout out there. Check out Lukey 6. Anyway, so there we go. Touch control coming to another game, which is great to see, ladies and gentlemen. It's always marvelous to see. Get that out there. Right. More content, more updates coming. Now, this one's a weird one, and this was tweeted out by Stadia. Yes, Stadia. Stadia's alive. It's alive. You know, the social media account is alive. It tweeted this out actually today. But this is a strange collab. Yeah, collab. It's not quite the word, isn't it? What am I thinking of? Cross thing. Anyway, you'll see what I mean when I go to it. Yeah. Krompolopoulos. Yeah, and Mr. Meeseat. Okay. Yeah, basically, there's a Rick and Morty crossover with Rainbow Six Siege. What's that all about? As tweeted out by Stadia earlier today. It just seems a strange mix to me. But yeah, the Rick and Morty bundle is coming to Rainbow Six Siege very shortly, and that was posted out by Stadia earlier today. Let me know in the chat. Let me know, you're looking forward to that. It just seems a bit weird. It's getting a bit Fortnite-y, isn't it? When you start having these sort of crossovers like that. I mean, I think, yeah, cartoony crossover with a sort of serious PvP game. I don't know, whatever. They must see some value in it. Nice to have interesting skins and stuff like that. I admit. But there we go. So, talking, I mentioned earlier, Humankind. Humankind have released a roadmap, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yes. It's more than Stadia have ever done. All right. I'll be cheeky at the back. Not here to be cheeky. Right, here we go. A roadmap. Now, some of this we've already seen. Let's go big. So we mentioned earlier, a couple of shows ago, of course, the Cultures of Africa DLC, which has now been released. 6 cultures, 5 wonders, 15 events, because those cultures go through the whole millennia of Africa, from early cultures, early civilizations, different cultures throughout history, right up to modern day Nigerian culture. That's already been released, so that's on the release side. But upcoming here, you've got some war support, no mandatory surrender. I've no idea what that means. No mandatory surrender. Multiplayer hot join, immersive empire names, UI notification options, game stability, AI improvements, affinity balancing, siege and sortie rules, and then further down the... So this is in the first 6 months, because it says summer 2022. So I'm sort of assuming it's a sort of 6-month rollout. New cultures, new wonders, new languages support, new challenges, official mod for PCs, not for Stadia people, and more. And that's coming by summer 2022. So maybe by July. So yeah, maybe the first 6 months, 6-7 months. But there we go. That's new content coming from Humankind. So for all you Humankind folk out there, something to look forward to. A roadmap, ladies and gentlemen. That's what one looks like, apparently. There you go. Right. And talking of games, Do you want to see some other games, ladies and gentlemen? Do you want to see some other games on the platform? What am I talking about? Board games and border games? No, not bored of games. Are you bored of games? Board games like Monopoly, those sort of games. Well, if you like games, family games like Monopoly, that sort of thing, how about Game of Life, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah. Game of Life 2. I used to play that board game. Yeah. A trademark of Hasbro. I remember Game of Life. It always reminded me of sort of like I used to call it a poor man's Monopoly, really, because you got a salary and all of that kind of stuff. Anyway, so Marmalade Games, who produce or develop the Game of Life 2, based on the Game of Life Hasbro franchise there, the board game, Game of Life. Let's just reduce that. They have said Game of Life 2 is already on iOS, Android, Steam, and Nintendo Switch. Where do you think we should go next? And they have put here PlayStation, Xbox, Stadia, Oculus VR, or somewhere else. Vote here, ladies and gentlemen. So you can click on that and you can go, yes, please, Stadia, submit. Boom. I've done my bit. Yeah. For fun family game, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I've done my bit. Time for you to do your bit. So check that out, ladies and gentlemen. If you're not sure where to go, check out Marmalade Games, at Marmalade Games. And you can see their tweet. Get yourselves voting for the Game of Life 2, if you like that, another family game. I must admit, I enjoyed playing various the Jackbox games, bit of the crazy Monopoly madness, Uno. I played all of those over Christmas with, the family and the partner and all those kind of stuff. So, more family games are welcome, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're into that, get yourself to at Marmalade Games. At Marmalade Games. Check out their Twitter and vote for them to bring it to the Stadia platform, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah? Right. Okay. Some other news here, very quickly here. What's this? What? What? John Scar got some Stadia merch. What's he ever done for Stadia? Woof. Woof. Anyway. Woof. Yeah, John. Anyway, there we go. Not really news, but I just thought I'd throw it in there. Yeah, it's always nice when content creators are appreciated, it's always nice when Stadia reach out to you, just to sort of encourage you and things like that. Yeah. I know. Like I did a whole show, like on the awards, everything, and I spent loads of time on it. Nothing. I've nearly done 100 shows. No. Oh, hello, back. You're back. Great. Okay. How unprofessional of me. Unprofessional of me indeed. But anyway, what have Stadia been doing, Clive? I know that's what you're asking. What have Stadia been doing? We're naive. We're impatient, Clive. What have Stadia been? Yes, calm down. Calm down. How about this, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah? How about this? How about sponsoring and appearing in a developer conference coming up in February, ladies and gentlemen? Yes, Stadia are active doing stuff. So here we go. There is a developer conference, Virtual Game Developer Summit here by a company called Backtrace. You can't see it because the logo's in the way, my Stadia Monday Night Chat logo. This company is called Backtrace. And what Backtrace do is they supply services to the development industry for supplying sort of crash test reports and things like that in the background. But they also put on game developer conferences like this. As they describe it, Breakpoint is an open virtual event free of charge that provides an opportunity for practitioners in the game development industry to learn from each other, network, share best practices, ideas through technical talks. And they'll talk about game quality, testing pipelines, performance issues, and all of those. And you can register if you're a developer to partake in this virtual game developer summit. And if we scroll down here and look at the agenda, you've got create with compromise with Unity. You've got people from Unity here. You've got Ari Arnbjornsen from Epic Games, crashing with style in the Unreal Engine. You've got Qing Tao of Amazon Web Services, so Amazon there. You've got, leaning into the cloud native speaker, Ryan Bartley of Google Stadia, ladies and gentlemen. Ryan Bartley of Google Stadia is giving a little chat. And then there's a panel discussion, presumably with Ryan, because, you know, you've got Epic, Google, and HelpShift. So I think Greg or Ed here from HelpShift and Christian from Unity probably, and Ari Arnbjornsen of Epic Games, and probably Ryan Bartley will be on the panel discussion as well here. And it's being sponsored by a number of people: AWS, EA, Epic Games, Unity, and Stadia. So this little conference takes place on the 16th of February 2022, and it's aimed at developers. It's all about developers, but it's just interesting to see that at these sort of developer industry events, Google Stadia is still present. And Ryan Bartley was one of the people who presented at the Google Developer Conference in 2021, I believe. Let's have a look. Let's put a name in here, see if it comes up. Okay, well, he did, but he's an actor. Just go straight to LinkedIn, shouldn't we, really? But he was one of the people who gave a talk at the sort of the developer conference, where they talked about some of the new tools. They were the QA testing tools that they were bringing in, Stadia were bringing in to help improve the porting process to Stadia, to help improve the certification process, which is, you know, apparently was a real nightmare in terms of Stadia. It was, and that was some of the delays were. People were saying, well, it's difficult porting games to Stadia. No, that wasn't the issue, as it turns out. According to Eves, the guy behind Humankind, was saying the real issue, or one of the sort of the log jams in the development process for Stadia was the QA certification process. And now he said that that's really, really improved. And that was one of the things that they brought in at that Google Developer Conference that Ryan Bartlett was part of and gave a little talk about. Hey, Soul Home Studio, thank you for that. Thank you for the super chat. For merch, get Stadia tat on your head. Yeah, Agent 47. Maybe get Stadia like in a barcode on the back of my head, yeah, like Agent 47. Yeah, definitely. Anyway, so yes, so you know, Stadia not doing anything, you know. Well, they are. They're still continuing to develop relationships with developers, and you know, part of that, get yourself out there. is to be part of conferences, industry conferences like this, you know, and to talk with people and to network and stuff like that. And that's what it's about. So there you go. Stadia is indeed doing stuff in that field and developing those relationships, which is always good to see. So I just thought I would share that with you, ladies and gentlemen. What else? Oh, yes. So that's on the developer side. What about the consumer side? What is Stadia doing to reach even more consumers, I hear you add? Well, ladies and gentlemen, could this next thing be a massive help? Like cue people in. Well, what am I talking about? I'm talking about a new Chromecast device, ladies and gentlemen. Let's fit that in there. Yeah. A new Chromecast with Google TV device is in the works and could launch later this year. So 9 to 5 originally published an article about this, and then Chrome Unboxed picked up on that, as did others, and stuff like that. Now, 9 to 5 originally speculated that it might be a more powerful Chromecast unit. You know, with the ability to kind of have slightly more memory, maybe have a better codecs to kind of improve the stream and things like that. So there's very little information about the specs on this. So the initial speculation is that it would be an upgrade, you know, on the current Chromecast with Google TV. But maybe not. Maybe it's not an upgrade. And maybe this is a good thing, and I'll come to why. So more recently, so this was in Chromecast, Chrome Unboxed. According to 9 to 5 Google, who has apparently had eyes, Kyle Bradshaw, apparently had eyes on a document directly from Google itself, a new Chromecast with Google TV device is being prepared for mass production and release. Apparently, this Android-powered device is codenamed Boreal. Boreal means of north and northern region, or very cold, perhaps like hailstorm. Ooh. I did think that when I read the word Boreal. And it's directly related via software to Chromecast with Google TV device, i.e. what was called Sabrina. So the Chromecast with Google TV. Now, at this time, 9 to 5 had no idea what the specs were. And so speculated that it might be, you know, an upgraded Chromecast device or something like that. But, ladies and gentlemen, and we like big buts, and I'll tell you why. Here we go. Protocol magazine say they have seen the specs. So I'll go big on this. Excuse me. So they picked up on this. Google is developing a low-end Chromecast for Google TV. A low-end Chromecast. Oh, no, Club, low-end. But I wanted 8K, 120. What good is a low-end? Oh, wait. There is method to this madness, ladies and gentlemen. Right? This new dongle will run the Google TV interface, but it won't support for 4K streaming. Won't support 4K streaming? What is the point of that? What? Oh, God. Wait. Google is working on a new streaming device that caters to people with older TV sets. Not everybody can afford to run out and get an LG C1. Had to mention it. Do you know what I mean? Not everybody's in that position or even wants to or can justify, in the same way you can't justify by spending 500 quid on a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series X. Not everybody is in that position in every market in the world. You know, different marketplaces have different needs. So let's read on. The device, when it said max out a resolution of 1080p, protocol has learned from a source with close knowledge of the company's plans. Internally known as Boreal, which is what 9 to 5 said, the new streaming adapter could be marketed as a Chromecast HD. So not a Chromecast Ultra type thing, but a Chromecast HD with Google TV. Obviously, these plans could change. The new low-end Chromecast is said to be based on an Amlogic S805X2 CPU, Mali G31 GPU, which would allow it to support decoding of the AV1 video codec, which is good. Something Google has been pushing other hardware makers to adopt. The dongle will have a 2 gig of RAM at most, support 1080p with a maximum frame rate of 60 frames per second. So obviously the current Chromecast with Google TV, it's all about 4K streaming. We know that, but it doesn't support AV1 and it retails for $50, making it likely that the new HD only Chromecast will sell for $40 or less. A very low entry price. Competitors Roku and Amazon both sell 1080p only streaming dongles between $30 to $40. So there's a market for it. Okay. And Roku is massive in the US, less so in Europe, massive in the US. Google made a splash when it first introduced its Chromecast streaming at $35. And it was throwaway money, $35. But the point here is, and this is the more important and interesting thing, I think, updating the legacy Chromecast dongle with a new 1080p streaming device with Google TV. So by running it like this AV1 hardware coding support means it can kind of run better streams at 1080p, but also keep the price down. But here it's for the lower end of the market and possibly also give it a leg up in developing markets like India, where Android TV has already been popular with smart TV makers and carriers. The company appears to have plans to launch the streaming adapter in North America, and it could come available in other markets over time. So the interesting thing about this, if they are going low end, is that it suddenly activates or makes Stadia available. Remember, Stadia's built into it. Stadia available on loads of older TV sets, which couldn't play, before necessarily, at an affordable price, plus in markets where they're quite happy with 1080p. Yeah, because the price level's right. And if Amazon and Roku are putting out 1080p dongles, why not upgrade your existing 1080p dongle and offer a sort of an entry level dongle with Stadia baked in? So interesting. Watch this space. It'll be interesting to see. We don't know entirely. This is speculation of what these specs are. It's said to be, according to a close source. Could be changes. We don't know. But it's interesting to see that they're sort of bringing in sort of a low entry version of the Chromecast with Google TV, and it will open up the world of smart TVs to a whole realm of people out there. So I just thought it was quite interesting that they are working on this piece of low entry Chromecast with Google TV hardware with Stadia baked in. It can't be bad, ladies and gentlemen. It can't be bad, really. Let me know what you think in the chat. Anyway, I'd be interested to know your thoughts on that. And would you like to see an upgraded version of the Chromecast Ultra? Do you think there's a market for that? Or do you think the bigger market is at the lower end? Right, ladies and gentlemen. Let's play the pro speculation game. Yeah, shall we? The pro titles. So as far as the pro titles are, we know Life is Strange Remastered Collection is or was scheduled as a Stadia Pro game back in the day. In fact, I'll tell you when. It was back in March. Yeah, so it was scheduled for a few months ago. I think it's September, October time, wasn't it? And this was originally announced by Stadia in March 2021. That's nearly a year ago. But it was delayed on all platforms, and it's launching, as I mentioned earlier, it's launching on the 1st of February. after being delayed on all platforms. So, and it was announced as a pro title as well. It was coming to Stadia as a pro title. So pretty safe bet that this will be a Stadia Pro game, or should I say games? Yeah, because it's 2 games, isn't it? Available. So yeah, originally it was meant to be available in October, fall 2021, and they pushed it out for all platforms to February the 1st. So it's coming to all platforms on February the 1st. And as I mentioned earlier, it should be pro. And if it is the case, then as I say, you've got a very similar pattern to last year. As I mentioned, first big game, day and date, January, Hitman 3. This year, Rainbow Six Extraction. Next sort of AA game, 1st of February to multiple platforms. Little Nightmares 2 came to pro. Life is Strange coming to pro. So just, But what else could we see there? That's the thing. Could we see World War Z? It is meant to be coming, released this winter, which sort of ends in March. Or could it be a pro game in March? I don't know. So we've got probably about 8 weeks for them to release World War Z. Could we see that? What recent other games might find their way to Stadia Pro? Let me know in the chat what your thoughts are. Let's have a look, see what chat are saying. Mike Rolf says, I did think it's a terrible idea. Chromecast Ultra is only 50 quid. Yeah, I did think it's only 50 quid. You're quite right. But, 20 quid, 30 quid, who knows? I'd like to see a high-end version, but I think the market is in the low-end version. Anyway, but yeah, put your Stadia Pro games in the chat, and we'll have a chat about it. Lovely to see so many viewers as well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're new here, remember, hit the subscribe button, toggle that notification bell. It helps, and you'll know when I go live with content like this, and hit the likes, of course, and all of that if you haven't. Anyway, but let's have a little whiz through chat. Why you kind of put your pro games down and all of that. Put it in there. Let's go. Okay. Captain is here. Ron, lovely to see you, sir. Oh, just played Dance 2022. Yeah, good for you. Good for you. I must admit, I have a little bit Blackpink now and then. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Ray's driving. What, golf or driving? Dave, how you doing? Kessel Runner. Was that one of the tumbleweeds in Red Dead Redemption 2? Oh dear. Stadia fans only see black and white, Clive. Well, there's tones. Yeah, I'm tonal. Yeah, people are on or off, binary, aren't they? It's like, oh, it's all doom. Oh, it's brilliant. Oh, it's doom. It's brilliant. Oh, it's misery. It's brilliant. Oh, it's misery. No in betweens. Yeah, no grey area. I got nearly all the games on Stadia. Exactly. It's that. I mean, so I haven't bought a lot. The games I sort of buy on Stadia are probably unlikely to be pro. I rarely buy them. Maybe the big AAA games. Very rarely do they end up on pro. Occasionally they do. And then I just wait around for the interesting sort of AA or AA battery. No, AA game or sort of an indie game, interesting one to come to pro and play them there. I'm in between 2 years. I've always had a game to exactly. Always listening. I appreciate Christopher's always listening. That's good. Loving the DBD content, as is the slasher himself, Lukey6. Hey, Pedder Games, how are you? Glad you could make it this evening. Thank you for. I saw your tweet earlier in the week. Thank you for turning up and making it into the chat. Let's just close this down. We've got the chat. We love to see your lovely chat there. Wow, everybody's chatting away, aren't they? This is good stuff. Whoa, Dominic, very much appreciated there. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate that. Thank you very, very much. It's what I waited for. Hi, which one? The DBD game there, Captain? Yeah, it will be nice adding touch control for their games. It's always a balance between getting the game ready on time, because there is going to be a little bit of extra work for Stadia. But what is good when you see Stadia-specific features added to the game. Talking of which, I completely... Wait a minute. There's a new game coming and I completely missed it. Why is this not... It was top of my list. Where's it gone? Hold your horses. What? Who? Here. Good job I got my notes somewhere. Oh my God. Yes, a brand new game. I completely forgot this. Thank you there for reminding me about adding Stadia specific content. I obviously didn't put this in my script, even though it's in my notes. What is wrong with me? This was the most thing I was excited about last week. What am I talking about? What am I rattling on about? Where is it? Where's my notes? A brand new game was announced. Oh, I deleted it. No, got it. Here we go. Let's get back to the news quickly before we get back to the chat. Clockwork Games revealed Past and Future 2022. So Clockwork Games here. And in it, they mentioned how, furthermore, we got approved as a Stadia partner. And then, so their game, they have a game called Elemental War, which is a tower defense game that was released 2019 on Xbox, PlayStation 4. And they are working on Elemental War 2. And it is coming here. Can you see this bit here? Elemental War 2 will be released on Steam, Humble Store, PlayStation 4 and 5, and Stadia. No Xbox. We can't confirm the Xbox yet. Oh, no. Nice to see the shoe on the other foot there. Yeah, we've got it. PlayStation have got it, but Xbox haven't got it yet. No, grow up. Anyway, so here we are. This is a little teaser trailer. It is a tower defense game with monsters. So a bit like Orcs 3. Maybe I got distracted by Orcs 3. Maybe that was the issue. And the idea is you put the towers in place and you defeat these sort of monsters here, and you claim their power and build up your defense towers, as you do in a tower defense game, and you stop the horde. So this is very early kind of footage. They've got visit unique environments here, lots of sort of fancy destruction toys. You sort of get XP, lots of sort of random weird creatures. Centaurs? Skeletons? You protect and the idea is all to protect your portal from them invading it, the monsters invading your portal, etc. So it is coming to Stadia. We don't know quite when, but what we do know is, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to just keep that up there so I know where I am. What we do know is that they are. So this is to this point here. It'll be nice when people start adding it right off the bat for touch controls for the game. So this is specifically talking about adding Stadia specific features. So shout out to Stadia Source, who did an interview with the developers. There it is. I thought oh dear. So Stadia Source did an interview in it, and they revealed in that, we'll just take that away. In the interview, the developers revealed that they may well be, let's have a look. Tell you what, they ought to organize their site. Well, this is, where's your, here we are. Here's the interview. Shout out to Stadia Source. There we go. So very interesting article here about the game coming to Stadia. Not far off here. So expecting it to deliver in Q2. So towards the summer. Could see it towards the summer. And good question here from Stadia Source. Stadia specific features. Could we see any Stadia specific features added to Elemental War 2, such as touch controls or mobile devices, perhaps? And the developer says here, there is at least one Stadia specific feature, but I don't know whether we can share details about it yet. So, two things. New game, spotted in the wild, is coming to Stadia probably by the summer. And it will have Stadia specific feature built into it, according to the developers. So there we go. Elemental War 2. I don't know why I completely missed that off. I do apologize for that. Anyway. Hey, I can't see. How are you there? It warps your mind, EJ. Wow. What, in a good way or a bad way? You love it? Certain games it works well, for. Lloyd, how are you there? Yeah. Like I always said, Reigns would have been perfect. Swipe left, swipe right. As I've mentioned before, I know a few other apps a bit like that. Can't think what they are. Swipe right, swipe left. Anyway, Reigns would be perfect for touch control to do that. When you're making those decisions. Yeah, if a tool that takes off out of the arsenal of early cloud, let it, sell that bundle to the publishers. Interesting. Fortnitey is the best way to describe it. Yeah, thank you, EJ. Was that my description of Rick and Morty and the crossover with Rainbow Six? Yeah, I think they say the race is get the game out. Yeah, and sort of adding Stadia unique features may delay that unless they've got a sort of a bigger team or a Stadia specific team on the job. And that's why I think, Ubisoft do. I think they have sort of Stadia specific teams on the job and they can kind of get the features in there and roll it out day and date with everything else and then have sort of Stream Connect and stuff like that. Although not in Rainbow Six Extraction, ironically enough, but there you go. I was typing it when you placed your comment. Awkward. I have not read the comments on that. I can imagine. But well done, Scooterama, for voting on Game of Life. Oh, God, it is addictive. We play the one where you can flip the cards over. So my girlfriend and I we're constantly playing that. High-fiving each other. We're playing the AI. Yeah, we beat the AI. Yeah. Get in. Maybe I'll get a Stadia t-shirt for the gym. Yeah. Yeah, poor me. Exactly. Well, I'm glad somebody appreciates me. John deserves it all. Big tattoo, he hurt himself. Jesus. But he doesn't get one. Nobody will. At least with this slow month, I could play. Exactly. Stadia doing you a favor, ladies and gentlemen. Case balls hit the nail on the head. We should be thanking Stadia. Yeah. Give us a chance to play the over 200 odd games. Do you know there are so many games on Stadia? I've forgotten some of the games on Stadia. That's how many there are. Like occasionally I'm whizzing through and oh my God, I completely forgot that was on Stadia. That's how many there are, man. Yeah. Stadia in barcode on the back of my head coming up. Oh, Jay, that's really nice of you to say. Thank you for popping by to say that. Thank you. I appreciate it. We just try, raison d'etre here is just to chat about Stadia, talk about Stadia, and that's it. Really, enjoy Stadia and share that enjoyment with everybody else. So it's AR coming rather than the VR. I don't want to be pedantic about it there, Cal F. I think what you mean is Stadia AR. Yeah, they're bringing some Google AR, bringing augmented reality glasses. We'll see. Hey, Google dream big, and then consumers get in the way. I don't like it. Don't want that. Yeah, I think the reverse. So looking by the protocol article, and they say they've been told what the spec is in terms of the chip. It looks like they're going for a cheaper device. It'll be interesting. Hellstorm, back to Hellstorm. Yeah, God, that'd be quite funny. Because remember everything about Hailstorm. We never knew what Hailstorm was. Was it something? Did Hailstorm come and go? I mean, it's not for us to know. These are inside project names. I work with a big corporation and we have project names for stuff. It's not what they're called. They're not meant for public consumption. The whole point of having a code name is so that people don't know what you're talking about. You can keep it secret. Oh, yeah, absolutely. We talk about it a lot. It would make such a massive difference going to India. Evening, Dominic. Yeah, I think they've obviously looked at the market and seen a gap there. There's some Roku and an Amazon. 50 quid, 30 quid. Yeah. They've obviously got the research. Upgraded version badly needed, yes. I think they could do like a premium product, but it's not a mass market product. I think it's more, I think where they're at is fine and on a level with most smart TVs. Not everybody wants the most, awesome, spanking, amazing device because they don't have the TVs for it. I can see that, Jeremy. I can see, yeah. It would make a lot of sense, actually, to come out with a high end and a low end. They did come out once when they killed it straight away with this sort of cube. I think it was called Cube with a Q, UBE. It's like a streaming box thing once. I'm sure it was. And I thought it looked really cool. The Google Cube. Asus Cube. There's an Asus Cube. I'm sure Google bought out some sort of cube box or something and they never used it. It was like a fancy, like a high end, or was it a round one? Sort of high end Chromecast-y type device. And then they never did anything with it. They killed it. Stadia Pro games. Deaf Carnival. Oh. That is a good shout. That is a good shout, Jeremy. I'll give you that. Also, almost every TV now decodes AV1 and VP9. Okay. Yeah, no more games. Stop it with the games. No more pro games, please. Yeah, I know what you mean. There's so many. I mean, in fairness, I get the idea, what's the point of claiming all the pro games? I just like to have them in my library. There's some I haven't touched. I just can't keep up. But you never know. No, I think it was a good shout out you had there, Jeremy. I mean, imagine World War Z or Deaf Carnival. Either of those would be pretty awesome. Oh, yeah, Mafia 2. Mafia 2 and Hellpoint. Yeah, we are due the other Mafia games. Oh, we've gone a bit... Oh, Yoshida. Arigato gozaimasu, yokoso. I will die if Death Carnival is a Fed Pro game. It'll be all, I think it's a good shout. I do think it is a good shout. Yeah, exactly. We're live. I wonder if they'll port the old one. Probably not. Interesting, but yeah. Very fantasy-based tower defense game, Elemental War. Yeah, looks it. I've not heard of that one before. Stadians love it. What, the Elemental War? I want Fuser from Harmonix to be the next game. I'm pretty sure I'll have crossplay. Fuser, I don't know that one, Foser. Fuser. I know Harmonix would develop on a game, but I have a funny feeling that they probably... The funding... Oh, right, yeah. A rhythm game. In 2020. Yeah, I have a funny feeling that the Harmonix games that was being worked on for Stadia was probably a victim of the closure of SG&E. There were some victims of that, unfortunately. It's just a gut feeling I have. Me? No, I'm not part of Stadia Source. No. 100% independent, me. No, not part of Stadia Source. Have I been on their show once? Years ago, it's on their show. As a guest, but not part of Stadia Source. No. Run my own show here, as it were. My own news source. You always come here, Jay, for your reliable news source, up to date. Check out the Stadia TLDR. I didn't do one last week because there didn't seem to be enough worthy news. Although, as you say, today I seem to have enough news, so quite happy. Even so much so that I forgot the main bit of news I had from last week, which we've now rectified. Ooh. Well, I think, it's about playing on the devices you already own. I love playing on my LG C1 and having the functionality that offers, and equally to have added functionality to play on your phone is cool, and just swap. I see people on Twitter all the time saying, wow, the ability to just swap from device to device is really cool. So there we go. I'm not sure what other mobile style games they can push to all new levels with Stadia hardware and graphics. Hey, Son Alive, how are you? Thank you. Great show, he says. What a person of consummate taste. Thank you, Dominic. The Nexus Q. That was it. Nexus Q. I vaguely remember it. I really liked the look of it back in the day. Oh, yes, it was round. Let's go big. Spy-Mare, look. Yeah, I just really liked it. It was like a sort of speaker thing. A digital media player. Oh, 2012, 10 years ago. Oh, my Lord. Yeah. Yeah. No, thank you. We got there. There was the Nexus device. Yeah. We got there in the end. It did look kind of cool. Nexus Q was the weirdest Android device ever made, but led Google to far better products. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing about the Google way. They build and improve. 2012. Android 4 ice cream sandwich. God, ice cream sandwich. I remember when that came out on my Android phone. What was it? What phone? My Hero 1 or whatever it was. What phone did I used to have? HTC. My HTC. God, back in the day. Memories. Da, 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 da. Yeah. It was Square Recording Execute because it was bad. It would be a brilliant drop, Carnival. Deaf Carnival, Lukey. Hey, thank you, Patrick. And I'm glad you're enjoying my meal, you know. And interesting on the meal replacement products, and becoming soon, a number of gaming companies, well, some gaming companies are releasing meal replacement products. And some meal replacement products are aiming some products directly at gamers. And I'll be doing some reviews. So there's that crossover. I'm not mad. I knew I wasn't mad having a channel with both on. There's a definite crossover. Definite crossover. Cool to see Stadia going quite a surprise. Well, you know, Patrick, if you're not sort of familiar with the world of Stadia and you just sort of go by the general ether, you know, you'd probably think that there's nothing to do on Stadia or whatever, or it's not even alive. It died, you know, a year ago or whatever. But no, it's in its third year. It has over 200 games, has a growing pro library of 45 games. If you at any point you sign up, yeah, I've been subscribing since day one, and I've got over £2,500 worth of games as part of Stadia Pro. You don't have to subscribe. There's games to play for free, so you can try Stadia. You can play Destiny 2 for free. Don't have to sign up. You've already got Stadia. Just put in your Gmail account. Boom. Playing Destiny 2. PUBG, boom, playing PUBG for free. Yeah, for free. It's amazing. Grab an old Xbox controller, plug it in to your laptop, your computer, whatever. If you've got a smart TV that can, you know, like an LG, boom, you're playing for free, for nothing. But not a lot of people, you know, kind of realize that. Unless they sort of, you know, in the Stadia community and follow it and keep up to it. So there we go. No, Deaf Carnival's not out, Captain. Oh, really? Oh, yeah. They've been teasing Deaf Carnival for nearly a year. Oh my God! Come on, get it out. I did not hear about Phil Spencer's recent revelations. Hey, happy birthday, Nick! Everybody sing happy birthday to Nick Gurr. Happy birthday to you. I'd sing it, but then we'd get copyright strike. Who the funk it? Happy birthday. Oh, yeah. Happy birthday, Nick. Wow. Come on, hashtag media guy. Keep up. Oh, yes. More Wayward Games, definitely, Bozo. They used to sell a trail party mix that was targeted gamers. Ah, there we go. Look, Nick, you're getting your birthday greetings, you see? That's what we like to do here. Look, see, happy birthday from Lukey6. Check out Lukey6's Dead by Daylight streams. It's our home studio there. Roger. That's very nice of you, all of that. Well, there we go. So, yeah. Gardra's going here. A big step would be merge the YouTube and Stadia accounts. So you'll be able to jump into Stadia with only a YouTube account. Yeah, I guess if you've got a YouTube account, that's like having a Gmail account, isn't it? Do you need a Gmail? Can you set up a YouTube account without a Gmail account? Not sure. I've only ever set up YouTube accounts with Gmail. So, but yeah, whatever way, whatever, make it friction free and all of that. Hey, hashtag media guy, happy birthday to you. Troll Hunter just got rated. Did it? Is this breaking news? What on? Yes. Oh, it's from Outright Games. So of course it is. Look, there we are. Troll Hunters. So I think we knew this was coming. If it's from Outright Games, it's coming. I'm telling you that. But there we are. Stadia. Troll Hunters. Here we go. DreamWorks. Okay, no, this is not the game I thought. There was another TV series. This one, what I was thinking of. Okay, I was thinking this, The Last Kids on Earth and the Staff of Doom, which is meant to be coming to... In fact, all the Outright games are meant to be coming to Stadia. But looks like Troll Hunters is also coming now. DreamWorks Troll Hunters from Guillermo del Toro's Defenders of Arcadia. Looks like it is coming. Here we are, look. So sort of Outright game style thing here. They're very good at this sort of thing, you know, taking the sort of Cartoon Network style cartoons and then there's a bit of grime to that kind of style there, isn't there? To the look of it. Isn't it a bit grimy? Not like grimy as in terrible, but... Well, there we go. Thank you for that. Shout out to Calef there. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Troll Hunters just been rated for Stadia. Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Breaking news. There we go. So could that be if they do a blog post tomorrow? You know, their sort of fortnightly update Stadia with due one. People say, oh, it's 10 days. We've not heard from Stadia. Well, it's fortnightly and there are 14 days in a fortnight. Yeah, bi-weekly in America, 14 days, not 10. Anyway, so if they come out with news tomorrow, could we see an announcement about Outright Games Troll Hunter? We never know. You don't need a credit card to try Stadia more. Yeah. Pro game. Could be. How many, what other Outright games ended up being pro games? Though, that's the thing. Interesting if it comes out on the first and it's not a pro game. It's always a bit suspicious when a game is coming out on the first, you know. Well, if it comes out tomorrow, yeah. Anyway, so look out for the Stadia update for that to see whether it gets a mention in there. An action platformer based on the series Tales of Arcadia in which players control time travelers, Jim and Claire, as they collect coins, magical stones, unlock special abilities, battle various enemies. From a side-scrolling perspective, players traverse platforms and use swords and projectiles to kill fantasy creatures, e.g., for those that don't know what fantasy creatures are, goblins, trolls, and dragons. Combat is frenetic at times, highlighted by sword-slashing sounds and cries of pain, and a handful of enemies use blaster-like weapons, and some boss characters shoot multiple magical projectiles across the screen in more protracted combat. So there we go. Oh, right. Yes. Yes, I did see that. Yeah. Well, I did, and I saw Sonny talking about it as well. I see what you mean. Thank you. I can't see. I I did see that, and my feeling is that yes, and I've mentioned this so many times on this channel. There are similarities with what has happened with television and film industry, and the broadcast, especially television broadcast, of which is where I work in the broadcast field. The advent of streaming has radically changed the business model. I mean, massively. I mean, it's the proper definition of a disruptor. Netflix and Amazon Prime and Disney Plus, but Netflix obviously being the thrust of this over the last sort of 10 years, has literally, not figuratively, literally disrupted the standard television business model for the last 50, 60, 70 years. And broadcasters and IP holders and everybody has had to come to terms with that and embrace new business models, new ways of doing stuff. That is the absolute definition of an industry disruptor. So when Phil Spencer talks about Google, Amazon, and Meta Cloud, Facebook coming in, being disruptors, he's absolutely right. If your whole business model has been about selling discs and selling boxes, which is the only place to play, for $500, and that box is the only place to play that disc, which meant that people had to make decisions, $500 decisions about whether they're a pony, or an Xbot, because them's the choices you had to make. And now, with GeForce Now and Stadia, you don't have to spend 500 quid on a box to access AAA games. And so you can have multiple, in the same way that you have Netflix, Disney Plus, and Amazon on your smart TV, and you just pick and choose what you want to play and watch, whatever. And next to that is, GeForce Now or Stadia or whatever. And I fancy playing a game. Oh, it's not on Stadia, I'll play it on GeForce Now. It's not on GeForce Now, I'll play it on Stadia. Whatever. It's price-wise, it's not a 500 quid decision to, which one shall I get? It's like, no, you have them both. Doesn't matter. So that's disrupting the market. And then equally the reach that Amazon, Google, in terms of the data that they have, and Meta, the data that they have means that they can approach gaming from a different way, maybe in a way that they haven't quite seen, which is why Xbox is investing heavily, obviously, in the cloud, my first point there, because they know that's the future and that's where it's going. And that's why they're buying up, massive publishers, studios like that. They know that people want to consume content like they consume TV and film content, on subscriptions, owning a collection of subscriptions. And that changes the business model from having to pay 60 quid for a game, 70 quid for a game. So, I can see his point. Google, Amazon, and Meta could disrupt the standard gaming industry business model for the last 20, 30 years. That's how important it is. And that's why Phil Spencer is building, investing heavily, or Microsoft, not himself, but Microsoft investing heavily, because they know they want to control as much of the IP as possible, because you're going to have situations where people want as much, that IP is going to be sold to so many different streaming platforms, or so many different platforms in so many different ways. So they want to be able to own and control that. So I get it. Yeah. Well, as Reed Hastings of Netflix said, his biggest competitor, this was about 2-3 years ago, his biggest competitor was Fortnite. This is Netflix. So it's about attention. It's about people's attention. It's about people's entertainment. And they merge now because of accessibility, because it's not, you don't have to spend 500 quid to be able to access gaming content, on your TV. And so it just becomes another entertainment source. So they're all competing with each other. And Facebook, Meta, Amazon, Google have ways of pointing people to content in a way that Xbox or PlayStation, because they've been solely gaming, don't necessarily. So that could be another form of disruption. So there we go. Anyway, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to end it there on the breaking news that Troll Hunters Defenders of Arcadia has been rated. So we should be seeing that game very soon. It's good to see the continued support from Outright Games. Happy birthday to all the birthday people in the chat. Lukey6, enjoy the new content coming to DBD. Everybody have a wonderful, wonderful week. I hope we get a Stadia blog post this week. And I hope it's full to the brim with Stadia Pro news and maybe some other gaming games coming to Stadia soon and all of that. And hey, why don't we do this all again, same time, same place next week, every Monday night, 10 p.m. UK time, Stadia Monday Night Chat with me, your host, Clive Ellington, and you, the lovely chat. You make the chat, you put the chat in Stadia Monday Night Chat. Have a great week, everyone. Goodbye.